Hey, it's Rob. Welcome to Horsehead Bookends. So, today is Wednesday, so that means one thing, and we're going to talk about Disney. So recently, out in California was the D23 Expo. Now, if you don't know about D23, it's a fan club for Disney fans, and the Expo is basically billed as the ultimate Disney fan experience. Now, out there, they talk about everything new that's coming to the parks. There's new merch. You get to see there's a ton of cosplayers. Now, we didn't go out there, but I did have some friends that went out there that hopefully I will get to talk to next week, and I can put them on the vlog and get their thoughts. But we're not going to do a lot of talking about D23 because there are tons and tons and tons of vlogs out there that discuss it at length about all the new things that are coming, how they feel about them. I'm just going to touch on a few points now that I thought was pretty cool. They did announce a Star Wars hotel, the Star Wars Galaxy Star Cruiser. The ship is called Halcyon. It's going to be an immersive stay for 3 days, 2 nights. And I believe the price point right now is about $3,300. I'm not exactly sure how the pricing works. I don't think they've really released those details yet, but that's from what I've read. I've seen, but I'm sure there'll be more news coming around soon. There's a brand new DVC property getting built called Reflections on the bones of the old river country. So we'll see how that comes out. It looks really nice. I mean, I saw some of the sketches online that you can see. I think they had some up on Disney Parks blog you can check out. Okay, another announcement was Disney is creating a new app called the Disney Genie. And this is supposed to basically help you with planning and your itinerary and things like that. It tells you like what rides will have shorter wait times, at what time of the day, things like that, what restaurants are more busy. I think this was designed for people who don't really do a lot of the Disney planning and just try to wing it, and they normally have a bad time if you try to wing it on your first trip down. Now, one of the biggest things that I took away from everything I watched on D23 was the massive changes coming to Epcot. Now, Epcot used to be my favorite, and over the years they kind of dropped the ball and it got a little run down and old. But what they announced at D23, Epcot is really getting revitalized. First of all, Epcot is actually getting separated now into 3 distinct lands: World Nature, World Celebration, and World Discovery. And then you'll have, of course, World Showcase in the back half of Epcot, or the front half if you come through the International Gateway. They also announced for Epcot there's going to be a new Moana attraction, Journey of Water. That I'm not exactly sure where that's going. From what I've seen, it's going behind Spaceship Earth, where the fountain is right now, but I couldn't tell. There's going to be finally Mary Poppins attraction in England, Cherry Tree Lane. A lot of people are excited about that. I know Anne's excited about that, so that would be really interesting to see. And then finally they have a name for the show replacing Illuminations, and it's going to be called Harmonious. And it's all about how the music of Disney ties the world together. So I'm kind of interested in seeing that too. Okay, but enough about D23. Like I said, we didn't go. We've only saw secondhand what was there. For this week, I think we're going to talk about something that actually Anne brought up that she would like to talk about. And that is getting good character interactions at the park. Here are some just tips from Anne about how to get a really good character interaction when you're going to meet these characters. And I think it might help you, I guess, break the ice a little so you feel more comfortable around them. Let me go get Anne and she'll give you her tips about that and probably anything she thought about the new stuff coming that was announced at D23 as well.
Hi everyone. Okay, so Rob brought me in to I'm gonna give some thoughts on D23 because of course it's what everyone's talking about. But originally, we wanted to make a vlog on making good character interactions. It's just some nice handy tip. First, D23. There was a lot that came out since we didn't go, and there was a lot of news. That's kind of what I just want to generalize and generally kind of talk about. So for me, I feel like there was a lot of buzz going on about, you know, ooh, Universal made a big announcement. What's Disney gonna announce? It's gonna be a big announcement. Instead, it kind of seemed like there was a lot of little announcements. And I think it was, for the most part, it was a lot of little announcements that we either knew were coming or were just kind of like neatened up and presented in a way that are a little bit more digestible. What I mean by that, I think, is especially Epcot. There's been a lot of, you know, Ratatouille we've known about, Guardians of the Galaxy we've obviously known about, and we knew that Epcot was kind of getting a big old facelift and some love that it needs. I think that the way they presented it, while we still don't have a lot of specifics, I think it's a little more clear to see the vision that's coming to Epcot, and I think it's desperately needed. Epcot's one of those things that I have really fond childhood memories of. My parents were totally 80s, and when Epcot was open in the 80s, I remember waiting by the living seas just to wait for the splash to go off to take a picture of the seas splashing behind my father and I. And it's a really cherished photograph. And my parents were absolutely all about all that early 80s wonder that is Epcot. Last but not least, there is this Target collab. A lot of fans seem to have kind of brushed this off. It's just not something on their radar. Everyone's kind of talking about the Avengers. Straight up, I'm not a comic book person. I have no opinion on the Avengers until they build me a ride and I ride it. And then I really don't care what the IP is. I care if the ride is good. Avatar. Right now, the Target collab seems small. Rob said he heard 25 stores. I thought I heard 60 stores, which is still relatively small. We still have actual Disney stores by us. However, I don't go there frequently. Here's why the Target collab, to me, and the pop-up shops, to me, is a good thing. Number one, I went to Target. First off, Target has a ton of Disney branded shirts and stuff. Home Goods this year with Mickey's 90th. Everyone has done collabs with Disney. And so they already have a bunch of stuff. I bought myself a Stitch shirt. I could easily bring it back. No big deal. Which is great. As a mom, I love to buy my son Disney pajamas because when I hit up a good sale, they're great. I find they last a long time. They're very comfortable, and my son loves them. I'm not a huge fan of shopping on the Disney website because you can't stack coupons, you don't get free shipping, and shipping takes a really long time. If this were to be successful and Target were to open this up to most of its stores, for me, it would be fantastic that there's a little mini Disney pop-up shop where I can either make returns because something didn't fit right, because making returns online through Disney is difficult, or I can say, oh my goodness, my son grew out of his pajamas, I need to pick him up a pair. Great, it's part of the Target list, part of the Target run, fantastic. If I'm in there, if I see a shirt for myself, awesome. I'm excited about it. I like Target and I like Disney. And if I can buy Disney stuff as part of my Target run, sweet. I think that's great. Part 2. Having a good character interaction. When you have a character interaction, you know who you're going to see. You've planned it, you've probably fast-passed it, or you've booked it into your dining. So here's my tips for having a good character interaction. First, be prepared. Know what you want out of your character interaction. Are you looking for an autograph? Are you looking for just a great experience? Are you looking for a great photo? If you are looking for an autograph, have that planned. Don't ask them to sign something that is not Disney. Mickey did sign my son's Mickey. We didn't ask, he just did it, and it was great. But if you go in with something that's not a Disney property, they're not allowed to sign it. Please don't put the character in an awkward position. But if you do have an autograph book, have your Sharpie ready. Yes, I said Sharpie. Have it ready because Sharpies are really the easiest for characters that wear gloves or that have furry hands to grab and to use. So have it ready for them, help them out. The sooner that autograph is out of the way, the more time you'll get to spend with that character. Now, when you're ready to spend time with that character, if it's a face character, meaning someone that can speak back to you, speak to you, you don't have to know a lot about them. All you need is a question. It could be a simple question. What's your favorite snack? So what's your favorite color? What's your favorite fill in the blank? Anything. They'll get going. They'll fill in the storyline. You can ask them about the storyline. Another big don't try to trip them up. Let them do their thing. And even if you don't know a lot about their story, they will fill it in. So the less you talk, I feel like, in those situations, the better interaction you're gonna have. If you're bounding, they like to see this. Mary Poppins was super excited to see me wear my Mary Poppins dress and my little hat. And we talked about mothering tips, and it was very exciting. And I had a great interaction with Mary. So you kind of want to know what you're going to talk about. But they will do a lot of the talking. With the fur characters, this gets a little more difficult because they can't talk. It's kind of up to you to fill in the gaps. But here's a really good hint. If you want to get them really animated, ask them about something that you know they get excited about. For example, here's something I always do when I see Donald. I always kind of fluff Donald's ego. We went to see Donald at Dino Land. They just made a Donald's Dino Bash, and I went, Donald, look at this. You have your own land. And he puffed up his chest, and he made a big deal about it. And I made a big deal over Donald, that he's so important. And Donald loves this because it feeds right into his character. So anytime you can kind of feed their character, even if it's with the smallest little thing, there is a little bit of acting that needs to come on your part. So I think don't be afraid to embrace that inner actor in yourself, because if you're animated, they're going to be animated. And even if your child's a little afraid, I think that can make them less afraid, especially if they see that mommy or daddy's not afraid to get up and interact and be silly and hug on Pluto or Goofy or whoever it is. Your child's more likely to kind of go along with it and see that it's okay. Last but not least, I think when it comes to an awkward silence, when your conversation is kind of over, what do? Really simple. Ask for a picture. This gives you a picture with your character, and it ends, they need to move on. So if you are having a good time with them, remember your character has to see a lot of people. So you don't want to take up all of their time. That conversation kind of ends. Say thank you, ask for a picture. That usually ends it. Or you can just say thank you so much for your time if you don't want a picture, and be on your way. Those are my tips for having a successful character interaction. Do like the littlest bit of research and kind of know who you're talking to. I think it makes it just so much better. I know my son loves character interactions, and I wonder where he gets it from, because so do I. There's definitely some characters that are a whole lot of fun, like the Mad Hatter or like Alice. She was completely ready to play games with my son. Have a great time meeting those characters, and don't be afraid to, even as an adult, be silly. You're at Disney World, for crying out loud. It's okay to be silly. It's the time that it's okay to wear ears. It's okay to dress however you want to dress. And if you can't see my shirt right now, it says Fantasyland, because that's where I live. And with that, don't be afraid to live in Fantasyland a little bit. Bye for now.
So there you have it. There's some tips on getting really good character interactions when you're in the parks. I hope they help. If you have any of your own tips or pointers, post them below and let us know, and we'll try them out next time we go down there. So any questions or comments, please post them below. I'll be sure to get back to them as soon as possible. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Also, please click on that subscribe button, and you'll get notified whenever we upload new videos. Other than that, talk to you later.